Hi, welcome back. So in the last video, we got an introduction to Bootstrap and we saw what it is, what does it mean, and it is basically the most popular CSS library of the development world. And a library is a place where you have a lot of code written, which you can use in your own code without actually having to write it all again. And that makes your job a lot easier, and that also makes your code a lot shorter, right? So now we're going to see how we can use Bootstrap in our own code. So for that, I'm going to open up my VS Code and I'm going to save this new file as bootstrap into .html. Right, and now I'm going to include my custom boilerplate, standard boilerplate, and I'll indent this. So first of all, let's just set the title to be bootstrap intro. Now I'll first put an h1 saying introduction to Bootstrap. And if I open this up right now, I see I just have a simple h1 here and nothing special. So now let's include Bootstrap in our own file. So how do we do that? So to do that, you can simply go to www.getbootstrap.com. This is their official website, and now you have to click on download, right? So this is not just a simple download link, it takes you to this page where you have a lot of options. So what we're going to see is these two things. One is the Bootstrap CDN, and the next is this compiled CSS and JS. So what we have to do is we have to download this, right? This is the second method, and we'll see what this is used for in just a moment. So first, let me open this up. So here, if I open this up in my downloads, I see this is what I have, right? And these are a lot of, you can see .css file, .map file, which we don't know what is, .css, .map, .css. We have a lot of files here. So the thing that we're most interested in is this or this. We'll see why both of these are essentially the same in just a moment. So this is what we have. I'll make this bigger. So we see this is nothing but a simple style sheet. This is a .css document, and we have like a lot of styles here. It's giving a font family by default, and we can see that this is a really long code. We're not gonna go over it, of course, and I can just keep going and going and going. If I take this from here, I see this is 10,000 lines, so of course we're not gonna go all over it, go over all of it. So what you can see is that there are a lot of classes, right? They're styling this m-xl-n3 class because dot represents a class, and they're giving it a margin, which is important. And important is basically that apply the style no matter what the specificity is. That doesn't matter right now. So yeah, this is another paragraph. Oh, no. So this is another class, and they're giving it some styles. So this is what Bootstrap is. They've given some styles to all of the classes, and they've also given some custom styles to the elements. If I go up here, I see they've given some custom styles to the elements by themselves, even if we don't include any classes. So that is actually all that Bootstrap is. And now we'll see what its effect is once we include it in our HTML. So what we can do is, and one more thing, this bootstrap.min.css is the same thing, except it has removed all the white spaces, and now all we have is just a non-readable bootstrap file, which is in the end same as what this is. There's no difference between these two, just this is a minified version of the same thing. So what we can do is, this is the folder in which I have all my code until now, and this is the folder where I have my bootstrap intro.html, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bootstrap.css and paste it here. You could also take this min.css and that will not make a difference at all, right? So the next thing is we're going to open this up and we're going to check if we already have it. So we see that we have bootstrap.css in the same folder as we have bootstrap intro.html, and now as this is a simple CSS file, we can include it with a link tag, and the href will simply be bootstrap.css. So now let's go to our browser and see if we've correctly included it. So just notice this h1 right here and see its font. So you see this becomes a little better. Font changes. It now looks a little better, not a lot because we don't have a lot of content on the page, and it removes some padding. If I did not have this, I see there was some spacing up here and that is no longer here if I refresh. And it might not be very useful when you have just an h1, of course, but imagine having a navigation bar up here, and so you wouldn't want some spacing above it, right? And that is exactly why Bootstrap does this, I think, but they might have any reason, of course. So now the next thing we can just see is the second way to do this, which is the CDN. So you are not aware of what a CDN is right now, and to tell you what that is, it is simply the same code. Like you can see this is a link tag and it's essentially the same, because if I copy what they have in the href right here and I open this in a new browser, in a new tab, I see I have the same bootstrap.min.css inside here. This is just hosted on a specific URL online, so you don't have to specifically download this file all the time. So how you can do that is, if I comment this, I make another link tag, and in the href I'll give this small URL. Now if I go here and refresh, I should not see a difference, because essentially we are including the same bootstrap file. Earlier we were downloading it and now we are just using it from online, but it's still the same code, right? So that's why we don't see a difference here, no matter what method we use. And so these were the two methods we used to include Bootstrap in our file, and we saw it automatically put some styles on the h1, and to do something with the button, we'll see it does nothing to the button. I'll do click me here, and if I refresh, this is still an ugly button and no custom styles are applied by default, and that is because we'll have to include some classes on the button to make Bootstrap work on it. We'll start doing that from the next video, and I'll see you then.